Guys, in this video, I want to talk about something very important, and it's why a lot of service businesses stall at sometimes 100k per month and things like that, and how you can solve this problem with software as a service. Sorry if you don't hear me very well, I'm a bit sick, but I wanted to create this video. I would recommend you to stay until the end because it's the only way in which you can really understand what I'm trying to say. If it's the first time that you are watching my videos, I'm Justo. I'm in a process of creating 12 apps in 1 year, and I recently launched the 5th app. Now I'm building the 6th one, and I created a process that lets me convert ideas or services into software as a service applications in just a couple of weeks, so I can start measuring and creating products aligned with my audience or the customer needs. Look, if you reached 100k per month, or if you are already making money, obviously you have clients, you have demand, and you have real proof. The problem isn't growth, the problem is how the model grows. What actually happens when a service grows is that you have to take more decisions, and in every new client that comes in, introduces variation, creates expectations, and increases the need for judgment. That judgment doesn't distribute itself, it concentrates. And it usually ends up in the same place, okay? The founder, okay? At the end of the day, you have to be there for the business to keep working. And it's probably not the thing that you want to build. I mean, if you're creating a business, you're probably wanting, or you probably want to create something that doesn't depend on you, that can work by itself. So this isn't a management issue, it's a natural consequence of the model, okay, of the service business. So here's where software as a service can fit or not, okay? At this stage, many founders start looking at software as a service as the logical next step. That makes sense, but not because software as a service is the goal. It's because software as a service changes how decisions get executed. Software as a service isn't another growth layer. It's a standardization layer that at the end of the day, it frees you up from your business. Its core function is simple. Take decisions that currently depend on people and turn them into predictable behavior inside a system. When that happens, variability drops, quality stabilizes, and the business stops scaling through the founder, which is the thing that you want to avoid. And by the way, if you're liking this video, you would also help me a lot if you subscribe to the channel and hit the like button, because in that way we can keep growing this community, and it only takes 2 steps, okay? And if you want me to help you one-on-one converting your service into a software as a service application, there's only one thing that you need to do, and it's booking a call. I will leave you the link on the comments section. Okay, coming back to where we were, software as a service doesn't start from ideas, but from a structure. Successful software as a service products don't begin by asking what product should we build. Okay, that's very common. A lot of people want to build a software as a service, and they think that is enough having an idea. They think is enough having an amazing thing that you want to build, but that's not really what is important, okay, when you are building the software. What matters is execution, and you have to learn a lot of different things to build a software as a service. I've been 4 years working on this, so this is not my first time, and that's actually the reason why I can talk about this, okay? What you need to ask instead of what product should we build is what are we deciding over and over again. In a healthy service business, there are already implicit rules, standard recommendations, and paths that are almost always correct. And that's not intuition, that's unformalized structure. So, software as a service emerges when that structure is made explicit. It's not creativity, okay? It's not wanting to invent something new, but it's compression. So, that's the moment in which you can start thinking about software as a service. Now, there is a way in which you can do this. It's not as easy as saying, okay, let's develop the software as a service and you go home. It has a couple of steps, and these are the steps that I follow for my applications and for all the clients' applications. This transition isn't a leap, it's a migration. When it migrates, isn't revenue, when migrates is leverage. That means less dependence on human judgment, more consistency in outcomes, and fewer points where things break. Software as a service doesn't replace the service overnight. It absorbs it in layers. So, first, they coexist, then the software carries the weight, and eventually the service stops being the center. This is what I've already explained in other videos, okay? At first, you start using this software as a service to solve your customer pain points or to solve your customer problems, okay? And you deliver the result. Then you scale and you use this service with your clients. And finally, on the third step, the client uses the software by itself, okay, by himself. And that's the point where you can charge whatever you want. I mean, it can be $50, can be $15, whatever you want, depending on the niche. But you stop depending, you stop changing time for money. But before talking about features, technology, or product, there is only one useful question. Does this reduce the number of decisions that go through me? Because that's the goal, okay, of the software as a service. If the answer is yes, there's leverage. If the answer is it organizes, it helps, or it supports, there isn't yet. The value of software as a service isn't doing the work faster, it's removing the need to decide it all. So let's go to what is important here, okay? How can you do this, okay? At first, what you start doing is identifying repeated decisions. Not tasks, not processes, but decisions. Then you validate behavior, okay? And make use of what you already have. You have clients, you have money, you have almost everything you need to build a software as a service. You just need to make use of that. So ask for early commitments. Next, you use the software inside the service, in real delivery, with real clients, under real pressure. Only and only when that is working, the product grow on its own. That order protects focus, capital, and reputation. And the important thing here is how many decisions no longer require direct intervention. We are not only paying attention to monthly recurring revenue. We are paying attention to this because we want to build something that doesn't depend on your time, okay? That's the important thing here. So what's the conclusion of all of this? Software as a service businesses don't fail. They become dense, not because they are poorly built, but because they grow by accumulating dependence. Software as a service is a fantasy if you do it the wrong way, or an escape, okay? If you do it correctly. Because if you use it correctly, it encapsulates judgment, reduces variability, okay, between all your customers, and removes the founder from the operational center. That's its role. So if you want me to help you one-on-one building your app, I can turn your service or part of your service into a software as a service applications in just a couple of weeks, so you can stop depending on your time. The only thing that you need to do is book a call. I will leave you the link on the comments section. Thank you very much for watching and supporting the content. You can follow me on Instagram, and I hope to see you on the next video.